It's Friday morning, just having a look at the calves back at my home farm. Now, one of you said in the comments, why do you not chuck barley straw and you chuck wheat straw in? Now, what I mean by that is in these pens, and then in the other pens on the spring unit, this is on my home farm here, on the spring, anything in a pen, right, you want wheat straw, you don't want barley. Barley's boggy. Now, if you walk in the shed and you go like that, and that is squidgy, this ain't squidgy. This is on stone. It doesn't matter if you're on stone, concrete, it don't make no difference. It doesn't matter what system you got, it doesn't matter if they're in a shed or outside like this. It's the way you're doing it, it's not the way you've got them housed. Unless you've got like a building what is completely shut off to all the elements in this country, and it's got its own bloody like temperature control system, you're going to get a few like ammonias and stuff like that. It's not going to be your fault, it's just what you've got to deal with because we're in this bloody turbulent weather changing system in this country, what you can't do nothing about, so you just got to live with it. But you can help it out, and you can have healthy, pretty healthy calves. You can have one or two die because that's the way it is. You're going to have some calf what just is not going to live. There's going to be something wrong with it, and then you're going to think it's your fault because some bugger hasn't fed it properly or something like that. But I'll give you a few tips because I've been doing it long enough now. I think I'm like eligible to tell people how to do it. I've been through it all, see. I've been through bloody pandemics with calves. You name it, I've done it. I've been on multiple farms, multiple systems, and I've had to deal with like all sorts. I've had calves out in the field on teat feeders, calves what stay in the barn till they're weaned off, calves what stayed on cows for bloody ever. I've done it all, I've tried it all, and I'll tell you the best tips, what gets on well with me anyway. Some of you might disagree, some of you might agree, but what works for me, I'll tell you. So yeah, to start off with, you want wheat straw, especially if they're in a pen, any pen. If they're in an indoor pen, outdoor pen. Barley's boggy for some reason, so we just use wheat. We've used barley before and it's boggy. If you've got a boggy shed, see, you want to get that cleaned out straight away. There's no way you can leave it. Fresh water twice a day. If you're going to feed them twice a day, you want to change the water twice a day. It's like with your kids. You wouldn't let your kids drink out of a dirty glass or drink water what's over 6 hours old. They don't do it the same with the calves. Another thing, put a little bit of cake or whatever in with them right from the day old really, because you'd be surprised how they get down and eat it, and that helps them on. Sometimes you can feed once a day, see, from about 3 weeks old. As long as you give them their 6 litres in the morning, they can just like have water and blend in the afternoon, water and cake or water and calf nuts or whatever. Ours are just getting a little bit of blend at the moment, nothing special. We don't do proper calf nuts or anything like that. They either have parlour cake from the cows or they have a bit of that. They seem to nosh that up better and it makes them drink water too. So that's why we're doing that. You can have indoor, outdoor pens, it doesn't matter. I find down there it works better if I have a bit of indoor, bit of outdoor. That's only because we filled the actual calf sheds up with other animals. So we bought these, what were easier, and I thought if you buy these, you can hoss them about, you know. Takes a lot to break one of these and they're easy to clean out. You just lift them up and scoop the stuff away. If you get an ill calf, then you want to get them out of the shed pretty quick. You want to get them isolated, you want to get them away from the other calves before it spreads. It's easier said than done, but that's what you want to do. You want to get them out over the way, and then you don't want to put any new calves with it. When it comes to feeders, now some of you might disagree on this with the feeders, but you can have one feeder to feed the whole lot if they're all together, because if one's going to get a germ up there, right, it's going to spread down through there easy. So you want to like try to avoid it by feeding the young ones first with a clean feeder and then working your way to the old ones instead of going the other way around. You want to make sure the milk's warm. You don't want to feed them cold milk really when they're young. You know, you can do it after 3 weeks, but if it's cold outside, then it's common sense just to give them warm milk. I like it nice and hot. If you do get a pandemic or you get a lot of ill ones and they start dying, you want to blanket treat the whole lot. You want to put penicillin in their milk, because that's the only way to sort them. 9 times out of 10 it's going to be like a virus like crypto or rotavirus or something like that, and that's a parasite what goes down their throat into their stomach, gives them diarrhea. So the first thing you do is want to get penicillin into them. They got ammonia, get Metacam into them, or like a pain relief straight away, because if they're in pain they're not going to eat or drink. So you want to do that. You just want to make sure it's clean all the time. It's not easy, calves. You've got to keep the discipline up all the time. So like we just know we're going to get some sort of germ because we've got so many calves about, and it just like it's on this farm anyway. So you want to, you know, you want to just do the essentials, make sure like the basic stuff's done all the time. You just want to keep it up, keep it going, keep them clean and dry, keep fresh water into them, The feeders, you can clean them if you want. You want to make sure they're clean, but clean them every day, and it's up to you. If you've got a group of calves together, see, like, it ain't gonna make no difference cleaning a feeder. Like, if one's ill up there, you want to get them out of the way because they're like just spread through the feeders. If you've got a group of calves somewhere else on the farm, then they want to have a different feeder. You don't want to feed it to them. And then you want to regroup them too. You want to keep grouping and regrouping. You want to make sure the calves are all the same size all the time, so they don't push it. And if one's getting pushed off the feeder, then you want to put them in with another lot. Like, you want to put them back a step or something like that. You don't want to keep him in there so he keeps getting beat off, because it just shy away from it. So you want to do that. You want to make sure they you know, their tails are wagging and all that. They're keeping healthy. They look good too. You want to make it look like, so if someone come along and seen them all the time, if someone turned up on your farm, you want to be like that all the time, even when no one's about. So there's a few tips what I find, and I've written all this down too, because it does come in handy, because you can easily forget, especially when you're in a mad rush and you've got other stuff to do. Friday afternoon, I just got at the spring calving unit, 2 o'clock, 2:30 actually. We're going to get the cows across the road in a minute for milking. All the cows here what calved today, and one what we just sorted out was getting ready to calve. So the standard what you're getting at the moment is you've got to keep an eye on them, because they literally just pop them out. They literally just jump out. We had one calf when he was eating around the rack the other day. Some you can see what are calved. So some, like, they have a calf, they're into the calf and they stand with the calf, but some have a calf and then run off. So like this one here, you only can tell because she's got a bit of sticky on her tail, but they are quite fat. They're staying quite fat. So like this one here, if we don't put spray on them, you literally got a hard job to tell they calved. So we've got to keep just walking around them all the time with a pot of marker spray, spraying them up, because they're all like Jersey cross black. They all look the same, and they're all still got a little bit of fatness about them because they've been on hay for the last 7 weeks. So they're chucking some nice calves out. The calves are just getting up and going too, like nice strong calves. All heifer calves coming out. What's great, we like heifers early on this system, get them growing fast, get them up ready for next year, because May next year, May 2024, these will be going to bolt. So that'll soon come round. No, that's good, guys. Keep an eye on that one there. She should calve all right on her own, sort of looking good. But we're whilst we're milking, we're popping in and check her and check the rest too, because that's got another one to go whilst we're out. Oh, I just walked into the shed and look at this. Second time calver on pushing out. Calves coming out well. All in the bag still, you see, so that's great. That's textbook, that is. And I just got here just in time. Well done, girl. Yeah, you're pushing out well. Right, here we go. Take that off. Give her a hand on the last little bit. Good. There we go, girl. What we got? Heifer. Frisian heifer. Look at that. Literally just come out. Mother's slicking her off. She's going to lift her head up straight away. So she'll be up within about half an hour and sucking. I'm going to get away. I'm going to get out of the way of her and leave her to it. Just check her rear end, make sure she's all alright. Yeah. That's coming out alright. There we go. Right, so this afternoon, got her. Got this one here. This one I bought last year down Cornwall, right on seafront. I think Jacob Stowe. Yeah, that's one. She's a heifer, all heifers. It's all sex semen. All pretty much the same cows actually, all Jersey Cross, New Zealand Frisian. That one. And they're all having what we want, black and white heifers. That's great. Okay, another cow here. Check her out. Are you right? Yeah, sure. Yeah, all heifers. Oh yeah, good cows. Oh, I love it when we have a lot of heifers come out. That's great, that is. It's good afternoon. That's this afternoon. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cows this afternoon. Puts us at 9 so far today, but it's only 4 o'clock, so we might have another one. We might hit 10 day again. So okay, yesterday was a 14, 11 the day before, so it's been a little bit smaller today. But we're day's still young. Look at that. This is our calving shed, or calved shed, where we've got a hay rack, a water trough there. It's quite a smaller shed, it's not a lot good for anything other than like cows what are calved. So they calve round the corner in the dry cows, and then we bring them round, or if we see them calving, we'll bring them round the here like that one. But they're just literally popping out, so it is like getting it, if we can get there early enough to get them round, but it doesn't matter because they follow us round as soon as we pick the calf up. Sunday morning, about 5 o'clock I think it is. Me and Emma are milking at the moment. Got a lot of cows on dump buckets this morning. From this year, the fresh calvers got a hard job to get their cell counts down, so we've got to hold them back before we let them on. So it's just one of those years. Last year was spot on. They come in really low. We didn't have a cell count over 150 all the way through the spring. Just coming right this year. They're taking a long time to go down, so we're testing them. Like these ones here, we've got 3 in a row here, and we've probably got about another 6 back through there. And we've done 6 there, so nearly half the side this side. So we're getting to a point where we nearly need to sort them out into 2 groups, and then hold back the one spot I need thrown away. But ones like this one, see, perfect looking cow, but you still come in quite high. You don't want to put them in yet. If you have a high cell count come in, once the milk goes on, you're going to give yourself grief trying to get it back down. So we've just got to hold on. We're going to dump a bit of milk because we've got way too much for the calves. But give it a few more days, maybe a week, it will come right in. So we're going to just track on like that. It is hot and mild, like warm and mild this morning too. Bloody misty up on this farm too, so that don't help out. Especially on deep litter sheds. So we're going to see how it goes. Sunday afternoon, I'm just down in the milking pond on the spring unit. Got a lot of cows on dump bucket at the moment. Got a few what have gone in a tank, but not a great deal, probably half I reckon. So we've got a good 30 cows worth what we're holding back. And these are the cows what we dried off first, but we give it like a longer dry period in it because they were the first to calve. And they also have had no penicillin chews. Because we're organic, we only do about 15% actual penicillin. So it's taken a good, I reckon these cows are taking a good week of milk. You've got to milk them for a whole week, twice a day, for the actual cell count to come in under 200. That's the ones what haven't had penicillin. The ones what have had penicillin, what are going to calve like next week onwards, like due date onwards, might be a bit different. But they were high cell count ones anyway. Like we select what ones we tube. So these cows here, like this one here is coming all right, see? So this one calved like 5 days ago. He's been held back like way long enough, like 8 or 9 milkings. And he's nice, I just done him on this. And he's coming nice and low. But we got plenty, like this one here, I think I showed you when he first calved. He had a sheet of Somerset. He's still coming out about 350 on a cell count. So not ever so high, but then we've got some older cows here, what we've had no trouble with before. And he's like in the thousands. And he's dropped down like 700 on the cell count. So it's just way too high to chuck in because that'll pollute the whole tank. So we've got a really, you know, I've got literally every individual cow I've got to go down through. That's why I'm down in the parlour all the time, going through it with my machines. Not just this one, I've got an actual machine what tells you the actual cell count number. And I also use this. California milk test was like great. Really, really simple it is. Real simple, but I just know straight away. And then anything with a yellow tail tape on is ones what you got like what a fresh calver is what we got to hold back or not allowed going. And as they get good, so as the cell count drops right off, they can go in the tank, but it's taken a long time. Last year, see, do like minimum of 5 milkings in the tank and it was all alright. It was good stuff. We had a really good run last year. I don't know why. This year, I say this year has probably been a little bit like the straw and everything, all like a lot cleaner, drier, not as wet. This time last year we had a few storms and whatnot. We didn't have none of that, but it is what it is. This is like pretty much a normal year. Last year was like a golden year. It was good. Cows there waiting to come in. So we've got them out on long grass. They're out on like really nice long grass. If we're on a different system, not spring calving, like early grazing job, probably zero graze that and put it in the cows later on, because it is just nice and dry air, nice bit of grass. But that's a one-off, that is. We ain't had a year like that before, but late grass has just grown all through the winter again. So is what it is. Every year is different. One good thing is the calves are going on well and they're coming out nice too. They're coming out a nice size now and they're nice and healthy and doing really well, and it's all heifer calves bar about, we calved in about 60, we got 64 calves, we calved in about 72, and we got yeah, we got about 8 bull calves, I think, so not many. Right, she's done. Put her off, put the next one on. It's hard on, well, it got a lot of the light. It takes a long time in there now with these dump buckets, and we could split them up into another group, but then we've got another group and we haven't got much space. So I think this is working all right at the moment, and Emma takes the milk out, feeds the calves as we go. Well, I just check up on the calves. What's going on, boys? Well, kids on feeding calves today. What going on? All drinking well? So like I said, with the cows what are calving in are taking longer for the cell counts to drop off, so we can't put no milk in the tank for at least a week. Now some years, like last year, they calved in, we held the milk back 5 milkings or whatever, and then it was just low as low. It come in like under 100, and like we went through most of spring like that, and it was really easy going. But we did have trouble with a few cows calving more than normal. Like we had a few Herefords and Charlies come out a bit big, and we did have a few hard pulls. But every year is different, and this year is different. But what we also got to watch with these calves is this: if we got this high cell count milk coming out of these fresh calvers, we can't keep like shoveling it all into these calves, because that high cell count milk is high cell count for a reason. So like, you know, as bad as it sounds, like you've got to dump a fair bit of it and make sure the calves still get good quality milk. Don't give all your high cell count milk to your calves and expect them to do well, because they will start struggling. That high cell count milk is like, you know, it's poor quality really. That's what sells high cell count. So we've got to make sure these calves, because the calves are going really well this year. We haven't, well, touch wood, we ain't had no troubles yet, but it's early days because the shed's been empty, like I said, for like 6 months. It's nice and fresh, and we haven't built up any like proper bedding or any germs yet. So we just got to keep an eye on it. But like you just got to keep the best thing I said, keep fresh water going in there all the time. We have it really simple with the bowls. So we just have like a normal bucket, what we've kept and recycled, and then we fill it with fresh water twice a day. No barley straw, wheat straw. We got a little bit of hay for them, but there ain't really no need for them. They do like, they can have it if they want, but they won't touch it. They're more like eat off the floor if they want to eat anything. But like you could have proper drinker troughs in, like your proper water troughs, but they still need to be cleaned out. You can't just put them in and then expect the calves to drink out of them all the time, because that water could be still in there for a long time. So the best thing to do is just literally keep it simple, tip that out, put new stuff in every time you come in there and feed them with milk, and it works extremely well. Because like I said, with the germs like the crypto and the rotavirus and that, these calves, they get that germ and it'll make them ill, but it won't kill them. It'll be the dehydration what kills them, and if they haven't got that fresh water, they will not touch it. They will not touch, they'll drink a little bit a day of water, but it's got to be fresh all the time. So, and then you've got to be straight in there, and if you do get in there, when you've got to bag him. Every calf needs to get up and want his food every day. So they need to stand up like and come to you. You don't want to have to go in there and get them up in a corner, because that's the first sign of illness, that is. You want to be straight on top of it, because as early as you can is best. Definitely. So they're all doing really well at the moment, but we will get a problem, because you always do. You will not go through the whole of calving with say 200 bloody calves in this shed at one time without anything going outside. We get as high as 200 in here, especially if we have like we haven't had no proper really bad weather yet. In March we'll hit a bad storm, I reckon, or something to happen. It won't go kosher all the way through. So we're expecting something like the year, sort of getting the gist of the year already, the calving year. The cows are taking a bit longer to get going. They're going to need a lot of mineral, a lot of salt, and we're going to have to keep good silage going in them, because the grass are going out on as long. I know it's long and it's like good, they like the grass in, it's pushed the milk up a bit, and no sunlight on it, so you haven't got that energy in it. So, and that's what these cows need. They need energy. They need plenty of milk. Crossbred cows need plenty of minerals, plenty of nutrition, like just like any other cow, but especially when they've calved. And you definitely notice it on a block calving system, because they're all the same. You know, they're all calving in. We've got all fresh calvers, and if they're all coming in like fairly high cell count, it's taking a long time to drop off. Then we've got to get the minerals into them, and we've got to hold them back a lot longer until they drop off. It's going to be one of those years you just got to do what you got to do. Hold your head high and hope the weather comes good, but it's early days. It's early February. This is we're building up fast, but it's real early days. Wait till we get to March, and like I said, get the sheds built up a bit with muck and whatnot, and then the dry cows. And then you got your spring work coming on. It's when it starts to get a little bit tough, but we're ready for it. We'll go to bed early, so happy days. All right, this is what I do. Put some mineral in the troughs in the front, so when they come in, they eat all that, the cows. I ain't got to put in every side, that lurk about in there till the whole lot have been in. So a couple of sides coming in and eat that. Do it because if you put it out in the yard in a bowl, they won't. You have one or two put their heads in there and not let the rest put their heads in there, or they go and wait to go out in the field. So this is guaranteed to go into them. So that's why we do that. It works really well. We do it in the spring too, when like we've got grass staggers about, put a lot of mag in there. So because we can't, like, because we're self-feed silage, we can't really put it down, like mix it in the silage. So that is the best way for that. And then eat that in with the cake too. So if I do a couple bags of this side, just one bag either side every milk in, that'll be the minerals gone in them. And then I've got rock salt. Put rock salt in a trailer, and we tug it out and we put it in the middle of the paddock when they're out grazing, so they can go to the middle of the field to the water trough or to the rock salt and lick salt. And that works well too. I just hosing last of the parlour out. And we're going to go and shift the fence. Right, so here's our fencing setup at the moment. We've had the cows out here for about 5 days now. It's a big old field, this one. He's probably about 50 odd acres. Emma and the boys over there shifting the fence. This is what's been grazed. So they're doing a good job of this, and then that's a bit what we're giving them. So like, it's like, yeah, like I said, you don't often get like this on this farm when it's nice and dark and green. This is lay what we planted in August. We've done 50 acres of this, and this is sort of the same this year. Because usually they're going out, but they just go on out for sit down, and then they've got to come in on that back latch for silage. So they're having a nice bit of grass at the moment. It's helped out a lot, and it's saving us on silage. But they do come on in about 12ish for a bit of silage, and then they're in the night. You can nearly go out at night because it's warmed up, but it is a long way till magic day grass growth. So we want to string it out a bit, because we ain't got a great deal of grass after this. It's just slim pickings. Right, she's just putting those stakes out. I've got the fencer here. I'm going to go and put it on over the wire as soon as she's done. Pick her up. Right, so this is the grass they haven't touched yet. Yeah, look at this. So even though it's like this, there ain't a lot of energy in it. You know, it's filling them up, and they're milking a bit better than they are on silage, because the silage isn't fantastic quality, because it's like organic, and it's the stuff we scratched about and got throughout the summer, the dry summer what we had. So that's why I've got to keep the minerals going into them. And the salt licks too, just rock salt going into them, it helps out a lot. Right, so she's nearly done, and then we're done for the day then. Back home. It's getting dark already, we've got lights on. We're going to go and check the cows, see if anything more's calved and sort out, and then that's it, we're done, we're wrapped up. Should be done by about 6 o'clock. These turnips left over from last year.